Okay, just trying to finish up talking about acting in Little Women from 1994, exactly what rating it deserves. Alright, talk about Winona Ryder's acting. Really good. Sometimes a little bit too much. Just that one scene with her getting mad at Amy. Young Amy and older Amy, both their acting's fine. Winona Ryder's acting, I probably should probably put this in a spreadsheet because this is going to get hard to track. Winona Ryder's acting, 95%. I'll just roll the two Amy's acting into one, so I'll say acting was fine, 98. Oops. Christian Bale's acting as Laurie. I think he's an underrated actor to begin with. I thought he was believable in whatever age he was playing, both as young Laurie and as older Laurie. So I'd probably say his acting is like 98, I guess, would be the best that I can. We really need to watch more of his acting besides the ones that are his more notable films. And I say that only because, like, I mean, it was a total coincidence that he happened to be in this movie, and it was one that I happened to be watching. Susan Sarandon's acting was fine. Beth's acting was super. I'm just going to put both of them down for 100. The father's acting was fine. May's acting was fine. Some of the extras acting as children weren't that great. I'll just say 90. Okay, that was the teacher bugged me. It's like, what is he trying to be here? Let's say 66, 70% for him. I think you get it more once you realize that what his motivation is. Extras are fine. Those at 100. March is fine. Actually, I mean, none of these people really stand out. I think 100 is if, like, your breakout character. I think the best actors in this movie are Amy and Beth. Like, I can't think of any other actors that are in this movie. I think the only 100 I'd give is to Beth, really. Winona Ryder, I mean, probably closer to like a 96. It's just those overacting parts that bug me. I'll say 95.5. think that's all the characters I can think of. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different categories. Do an average. Short parenthesis. What? Here. So 95% for the acting. I think that's fair. No, it's not, because it's really being heavily influenced by that one guy. So I'll just say 96.5% for the acting. Why is it being dragged down so far? 91.38 is the overall rating. I think really the parts that are hurting it the most are color and lighting, cinematography, and editing. I think it's just because I said those were okay, but they weren't really stand out from other stuff. Alright, so using that 91.38 as a starting point, I can compare it to other movies. This is so much easier when I've got a computer that is specifically designed for speediness. I last watched this, what, 2 weeks ago? And that really held me up was because I was reviewing Tootsie for so long. I'll just say it was October 3rd. Alright, that would put it above Pandora's Box, which Pandora's Box had some problems with it. I think it's a better movie than The Hustler. The Hustler's really got some more difficult parts in it that are harder to talk about in a short form thing. I think mostly it has to do with the end part kind of going a little too slow, maybe. Yeah, so actually I think that's fine. I'd say it's better than Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Some of the acting in that really isn't that great. Not as good as of Youth, I think. Even though Best of Youth had maybe some problems with the editing. Not as good as A Night at the Opera. It's just a really good comedy. Not as good as Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz doesn't have that good acting, and some of the lighting is really crappy, but it's got a lot of other really good things about it. Not as good as Touch of Evil. That, although that movie does kind of center a little too much around Orson Welles. I think it makes up for it in the complicatedness of the plot. It's just, I mean, Rebecca and Dumbo, just very different movies. It's been a long time since I watched that. A lot of the movies that are in my top list, they're like very light movies, and this movie really isn't that light. Like the ones on my top list are Empire Strikes Back is still the best movie out of the 4-star movies I've seen. Duck Soup, Bambi, Singing in the Rain, On the Town, E.T., and Close Encounters. All of those are, until you get to Touch of Evil, all of those are very fairly light movies and don't really focus too much on drama. So yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend it. It's really high up in my list of best movies, and might, if I were to revisit some of these movies, it would probably maybe change its place a little. It might move up a few spots. I don't think it'd be in, my number one top movie of all time, but I think it's really good, and it's worth watching. If you round it up, it's almost 4-star movie. It's still closer to 3.5. If they were to re-release it in Blu-ray, though, that would enable me to say that the audio and visual quality are at 100. But until they do that, it's kind of hampered some by its audio and visual quality. So that's the end of the review. Next movie. The next movie I'm going to watch. Song of Bernadette. I go from watching one of the best movies ever to watching just one that's probably going to end up down in like the 13% range or 15% range, which is already really crowded. It's just unbearably bad. It's like if the visual quality were worse, it would almost be close to The Southerner and some of these other movies that are near the bottom, but it is really bad on its own. It's like almost as bad as Going My Way. It's bad. Don't watch it, just skip it, please. Alright, this review is done. Should I do bonus content? No. This review's already gone on long enough. I maybe am thinking about going to bed, even though, let's see, if I went to bed now, it would be... Tomorrow's going to be long. Oh, I've got to make a phone call. Alright, so this thing's done.